Mutual Board of Directors, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation. It is Tuesday, April 14th. It is 9:31. We're in the boardroom on El Toro Road. I would like to call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Thank you, everybody, for being here. All right. Right now, Kathy, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And may we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussions? Oh, yes.
Oh, no, I answered it. Never mind.
Okay.
I did have a question.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Agenda approved. We have meeting minutes from March 6th, 10th, and 26th from past meetings. Can we get these approved?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Jonathan, thank you. Any discussion? Anybody opposed? They are approved. Thank you. Chair report. All right. I'm not going to go on and on. I'm glad to see people out here. We have speakers. We have everybody out here. And I'm sure there's going to be some people online eventually. So we're having a good year. We're working in the right things, on the right things, and I really appreciate this board for doing the job they're doing. This is not, definitely not a one-person board, and it is a pleasure working with everybody. That being said, I'm not going to go on and on. Let's go on to the next item, which will be the open forum. If anybody in the audience has something to share or a need, you have 3 minutes to speak. And it should not be anything that's on the agenda. So, Paul, do we have anybody?
Yes. Our first speaker is Catherine Bryans.
All right.
She used to be a board member. Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I wanted to talk about the History Center, where I'm a trustee and also the communications director. And what I'd like to tell you today is a little bit of important information, I believe. Laguna Woods Village is the very first community that was based on residents' long-term requirements, rather than being simply marketed to buyers for immediate desires. Ross Cortese and the Rossmore Corporation finished his development of Leisure World Seal Beach, wanting more information, so he actually commissioned a study at USC and chaired and paid for the chair. He donated $4 million, which is around $60 million in today's valuation, to endow that chair and create the very first gerontology school in the United States. Originally, it was named Rossmore Cortese Institute. It's been changed. It might be Andreas at this point. Every retirement community, and I mean every retirement community built after ours in 1964, has been based on that academic study of gerontology, or more specifically based on residents' needs, not just what they want. That means we were the very first community to be based that way and became a game changer worldwide. Accordingly, researchers from around the world have used our History Center archives, and the importance of our archives have only increased over the years. Most local history organizations have insufficient funds to hire, ours especially has insufficient funds to hire a part-time or full-time staff, but we do send at no cost to volunteers to go to the American Association for State and Local History. And so local history is left to concerned, committed amateurs like myself. And nonetheless, we aspire to maintain professional standards. Our physical collections and our archives are certified to the American Association's standards. We have a committed board of trustees and are also committed further to retaining professional history consultants to facilitate our board and ensure. Wanted to let everybody know we are not funded by funds through your assessment. We work solely on donation, so we would appreciate everybody considering us to donate and perhaps put us in will and trust. We would appreciate it because it would continue your legacy in our village for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. The History Center is a very well-ran organization over there. So we should go over there if you have any questions about what happened to Laguna Woods Village. It's there. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Juanita Skillman.
Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here with your monthly report on our village library. Now, I know most of you are familiar with the library and are patrons of the library. I won't name names, but there are a few of you who are not. And I do check our catalog system to see who's in it and who isn't. In March, volunteers, and we are purely volunteer, we have no paid staff, worked 714 hours supporting 2,106 residents who visited the library. Now, this is not counting our free library on the patio right outside our front door. Little free libraries are very popular in the United States, and ours is there 24/7. It has books, it has puzzles, it has magazines, and they're all free for the taking. So things that we cannot use in the library because they're duplicate, triplicates, or maybe they are a little worn out, go out on these shelves, and you'd be surprised how much they are used. I'm just amazed when I come in the morning and the shelves are empty when the day before they had been full. So people use them a lot. We also have an honor system, and the honor system is for our puzzles, one of our most popular things, and paperbacks. If we tried to put all of those into our catalog and our circulation system, it would just overwhelm it. So those are the honor system. You take them, you read them, you use the puzzles, and you bring them back. And we count them when you bring them back, not when you take them out, but when you bring them back. So we do have a good idea of how much they are circulated. We had 32 residents this last month who were added to our circulation system. Now, your resident card is your library card. But the first time you come into the library, we need to register it into our proprietary library system. And that's how I know whether you're in there or not. And then every time after that, it becomes your library card. The library is well used. The library is something that is a dear thing to my heart, and I hope many of you as well. And hope to see you at the library. I'm there on Thursday mornings and Saturday mornings, as is Elsie, and we hope to see you there as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We do appreciate the library here. I remember getting DVDs from the library. So it's a good source, and thank you for volunteering, both of you. All right. Anything else, Paul?
We have multiple more speakers.
Oh,
Our
right.
next speaker is Diane Phelps.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My address, I'm 5587A, but I'm here as president of the Village Community Fund to give you some information about some upcoming fundraising events put on by the Camera Club. They have 4 amazing events planned with world-renowned master photographer and videographer Todd Gustafson. The largest event will be a presentation by Todd entitled To the Ends of the Earth, held on April 26th at Clubhouse 5. It's open to all village residents Regular tickets are $30, but you can also buy sponsor or VIP ticket packages. On the other hand, their smallest event is a 30-minute one-on-one portfolio review with Todd on Tuesday morning, April 28th. This costs $85, and there are only 3 tickets left for this. For more information about all 4 of their upcoming events, you can go to their website, cameraclublwv.org. Proceeds from their fundraising events will support their campaign to update the photo lab, our photo lab, with modern equipment that other people can use. Please consider visiting our website, villagecommunityfund.org, and making a tax-deductible donation to these or any of the fundraising events, fundraising campaigns we currently have for you to choose from. You can also encourage your friends, kids, and grandkids to go to our website to make a donation in your honor for Mother's Day, your birthday, or any other special day or event. Village Community Fund is a 501c3 charitable organization that provides support for programs, services, and facilities that enrich the lives of older adults in Laguna Woods. And lastly, if you're a club that's looking to raise money and would like to work with a charitable organization, please give us a call at 949-467-1030 or go to our website, or email us at villagecommunityfund@gmail.com. We don't charge a fee for our services. We give you 100% of the proceeds we receive. And sorry, I'm so tongue-tied this morning, but thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay, our next speaker is Ariane Winter.
I'm kind of new here. We've been here for 2 years now. And we had bought an RV so we could go trailing around. My husband died last month. And it's a 21-foot. Now, I know there's the 20-foot seems to be regular size for parking in most parking places around here. This one is 21 feet, so it gets an RV category. But it's going to be my only car for a while. So I'm just wondering if there's any way that I can continue to park in front of where we live as opposed to having to park somewhere where all the RVs are, and then I'd have to find a way to get to my car every day to go places and do things. And they said, I talked to security because everybody said security was the ones who were responsible for it. They had a big powwow with all the chiefs in the office, and they talked about it and came out and told me I should come to you and I should go to GRF, because if I can't find a place to park in our little cul-de-sac, then I'd have to park out on the street, and then GRF would have to be involved. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just asking.
All right, I think you've been here before. I think we're the ones that sent you to security, huh? Okay. Any suggestions here? I want to make this open.
Back here's Steph.
Oh, I think we have somebody in the back.
Yeah. Right behind you. Yeah. Ryan.
Yeah, it just happens we have the right person right behind you.
Yeah, I'm the director of security, Ryan, and I'm not sure what the powwow was with all the bosses because I wasn't included in that powwow, but I can guarantee that I'll get you an answer of some sort today on that, and because we do give sometimes some temporary dispensations for folks with specific situations like you're addressing, and what makes it an RV, not necessarily just the length, but there are other factors like bathrooms and all these other things and height that could create a safety issue. We don't want to do that, create a safety issue, but we would understand we do allow RVs to park, obviously, for loading and unloading, and if there's a way we can assist you in that, we'll definitely look at it today and figure out a way we can perhaps get you. We'll figure out what time period you're looking at and that stuff. So, well, I'll work with Ryan on that, and then.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
See, aren't you glad
See?
you came?
There was.
Am
See?
I glad?
Aren't you glad? See?
Now, if I can just get a solarium built, I'll be grateful. Well, they won't let. Everybody says you guys won't let us do that anymore. And I've seen exactly exactly the ones I want. I talked to Dan McEachran, he's put most of them up. And he said, yeah, no, they don't let us do that anymore.
Yes, Kathy?
I just had one question. How long before you get your regular car back?
It depends on how much gas money we use going to New Orleans and back. If we can not wipe out my funds, I'm going to take the big trip next year, and then I'll sell the van.
So you're looking for like
Looking for
12 months?
A 2-year,
2 years.
well, one and a half.
Is this a Sprinter van?
It's a Winnebago Travato.
No, it's not.
You want to see it?
Oh, no, that's right.
Thank you.
Okay. They're going to work with you.
Our next speaker is
Oh,
Pete
Sean,
Colt.
did you?
I was going to say the same thing, President Prater, that we
Okay.
can move on. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Next speaker.
We have Pete Colt coming up.
All right.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Pete.
I'm so happy you're on my board. I've gotten to know some of you, and you're all so very likable. And it's nice to be in a place where there's a functioning government. So I'm here because there are unintended consequences for a vote that the board took back in November about the fruit trees. Okay? So I looked at the video 4 or 5 times, actually. I understand that there were rats in Charlie, even in your, rats were eating your cables in your cars. Mm-hmm. So if we cut down all the fruit trees, what are the rats going to eat? Cables. This is an unintended consequence. Then, as Maggie, I spoke with you this morning, I did what Maggie suggested, and I went to the garden center and I signed up, and it's a 7-year wait for a plot at the garden center. Then I see, with the economy going the way it is right now, we have neighbors who are on either a single income, or they're on a fixed income or low income, and they should benefit from being able to grow tomatoes on their patios to supplement their incomes. What's going to happen too, more so I think with Third than with us, is because the mortgage rates are going sky high, there are probably going to be fewer people buying into the village. So HOAs are probably going to start rising in Third before they rise here in United, but still there's a chance that if we're not selling enough units, our HOAs are going to have to go up. And so we need to think about what our realtor is going to say to potential buyers. Oh, I love that fruit tree. Well, when you buy this unit, we're going to cut that down. I've had 7 dogs. If you're a dog lover, then you get this. Oh, there's a coyote alert. What happened? The coyotes are eating dogs. Oh, I'm not going to buy here. You see these unintended consequences that are happening to us right now, and they're going to build and build. And then the other thing about the garden center is we have neighbors who are very much mobility impaired, and it would be a struggle for them to get from their unit to the garden center as often as they would need to get to the garden center to take care of their plots, all right? And then so many unintended consequences. As long as we have Aliso Creek, we're going to have coyotes. They have a place to get water. And if we do cut down all the fruit trees in United and Third, where will all these coyotes and rats and squirrels go? They're going to go to the garden center. They're going to go to Aliso Creek. They're going to start going into this cul-de-sacs and eating all the cables again. And then I'm going to close with this. And this is, so I was in the veterinary corps in the military. So what happens when an animal attacks a human being? What should happen to that animal? Should it be put down? Should nothing happen to it? Well, what happened last year when there was a town hall at the PAC, on July 20th, the Orange County Register ran an article titled, Laguna Woods residents get vocal at town hall on coyotes. In that article, animal control officer Lauren Elliott from the Laguna Beach Police Department stated that in the past 2 decades, in Laguna Woods Village, there has been only 1 confirmed attack of a coyote. A confirmed attack is if you're bitten, you're going to go to the doctor. You're going to get a rabies shot. You're going to get that wound treated. That's how they know it's confirmed, right? That's my aside. So in the past 2 decades in Laguna Woods Village, there has been only 1 confirmed coyote
Member
attack
time is
on
up.
human.
Okay.
By comparison, each year, 40 people in Laguna Woods Village are bitten by dogs.
Okay. Thank you,
40 a
Pete.
year.
Thank you, Pete.
Right?
Okay, our next speaker is going to be joining us on Zoom, Ann Beltran.
Good morning. My name is Ann Beltran. I live at 8540 Rhonda Mendoza. I'd like to invite everyone to attend our upcoming Earth Day celebration this Thursday. So 2 days from now, the Concerned Citizens Club will be hosting an Earth Day celebration at 2 p.m. in Clubhouse 1. The overarching Earth Day theme this year globally is Our Power, Our Planet. So we will return to the time-worn maxim in our show, in our event, of thinking globally and acting locally. It's what all the experts are telling us. And to do that, we'll have a 3-person conversation, a little bit more engaging than a panel. The speakers will include Dave Rice, who is president of the United Nations Association here in Orange County. And Dave has been working persistently for years to bring the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals down to the local level. And so he's invited 2 local leaders to join him in conversation. One is Tara Tisopoulos, who is who oversees and manages Orange County's sustainability efforts, and she works closely with all 22 departments and the county's executive office to develop and implement the county's climate action plan. Also, there will be Patty O, who leads an organization called Cool OC, and she supports a host of local neighborhood efforts. So we'll have the perspectives from the global sustainability development goals down through our own climate action plan and how in the neighborhoods we can support environmental action. So this should prove very inspiring to a lot of us who take heart from seeing others take comparable actions. We're really not alone. We can do small things together. And so please join your fellow residents in 2 days, April 16th, Thursday at 2 p.m. in Clubhouse 1 to gain fresh inspiration and hope for the huge environmental challenges we face. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. And I was volunteered to help go set up, so I will be there Thursday morning, and it's a good thing to go to.
Thank you.
Okay, the last one was written on a note card. I'm going to go ahead and read this out. Give me 1 second. This is from Janet Johnson of 697C. For those of you who or neighbors that are leaving old paint and stain products in any dumpster area, this is a no-no. But the Dunn Edwards paint store would be happy to accept these products, no charge. You must leave on all can labels, as they take back all brands that have a label on them. They are located at 16191 Lake Forest Drive in Irvine, right next to the complex with the Best Buy store. Additional info, call store at 949-788-0950, and that's it.
All right. That is very good information to know, since the county closed down the center down there on Canyon.
Actually, they extended it for 1 year, so
Did
it's
they?
still open, yes, at least
Oh.
through the end of the calendar year.
I am so glad. I wish that would have been publicized. Thank you. All right. Any more, Paul? That's it for now? Okay. Shiva, oh, do you have any comments on any of the speakers once?
Simply, Eric is going to get back to the resident about the RV. That's the most pressing issue on the list. And we appreciate the invitation to Earth Day.
All right, thank you. All right. See, response to the open forum. Anybody have any responses? Yes, Phyllis. Oh,
Yeah, it's Dunn Edwards Paint Store. That's in the Best Buy shopping center with McDonald's down the road from us on Lake Forest.
anybody else? Any comments? Tony, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is it the lady who was asking about solariums? Should we direct her to the Architecture Control Standards Committee to see if she went in and made any kind of an application for an alteration? I mean, is she?
I didn't hear the whole thing. What was it you said?
Have you gone in here to our services department and asked for, sign up for a solarium to see if they get some kind of an alteration for your?
I did, and they were rejecting the solarium part and then wanting input from whoever I got to do it, to give them the design. And so the solarium was the only thing. I'm right up against the big hedge. I have no sun. I got a 3-hour window of sunlight back there. If I have to cover my patio, then I get no sun at all. And I really wanted that area back there to be able to work in.
So did your contractor talk to us?
I have had 3 offers of people to do it, and one of them was like, "Oh, I can do that for $160,000. Bye-bye." And then the other guy said, "Yeah, I can't see what we can do here," and so he took off. And then the third one was willing to help, but I've been waiting for him to give me paperwork to submit to the manor alterations. I'd asked them for what I can do, and I even asked, can I have a copy of the solariums that have already been done to be able to compare to my house to see? But it just seems like it can't be done on my house. I don't know.
Well, we have the Architecture Control Standards Committee meeting on the 16th, and I'll bring that up to our committee because I don't understand it either. I like to understand what the issue is.
Okay.
So thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And that is an open meeting, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an open meeting.
It's open. When is this?
16th, 9:30, right here.
69.
It's Thursday.
Okay.
Any other, okay, no one else? All right, now we go to the CEO report.
The response back to the previous open forum.
I forgot
speakers.
B, didn't I? Okay.
Okay, that's me today.
That's you.
Yes.
Thank you, Sue.
Last month, we had Chris Collins come and provide an update on the foundation of Laguna Woods Village, just as Catherine Bryans did today. And Juanita Skillman has been here repeatedly, and we appreciate that, to provide a report on the Laguna Woods Village Library. And that's something I will get over there and do. I am a member, but I haven't been there in a while. It's a very good facility. Georgiana Stark raised a question regarding railing paintings options, specifically inquiring whether black railings could be offered as an option. Ms. Stark's request was presented to the United M&C Committee on March 25th, and it was denied. However, it will be brought to the board for a final decision today. Ms. Stark and the other affected building residents will be notified accordingly. Mary Stone spoke on behalf of the Laguna Woods History Center. And that completes the comments from the past board meeting.
All right, thank you. All right, Stefan, now we can have a CEO report.
Thank you, President Prater, members of the board. I would like to start off this morning by inviting Eric Nunez, our security chief, to speak on the recent copper theft incidents, and then I will continue with my report. Eric?
All right, thank you. Thank you, President Bader, and all the other directors of this esteemed board. And I also want to thank Siobhan for allowing me or inviting me to speak on this matter that we take very seriously, obviously, and we're very concerned over. Just to give you, I wanted to just give you an overview, kind of the investigation and prevention measures and some of the target hardening things that we're looking at and have done, and then just a reminder of the community vigilance, right? So the overview is that the first 2 incidents of theft of copper piping occurred during the Easter weekend. We believe that it occurred on probably around either late Saturday or even early Sunday morning, midnight, in between the hours of midnight and 6, say. And then again, they repeated this. And this was down in the area of United Woods by Aliso Creek by Gate 4. And so one, it happened on one side of the creek, and then the other was the other side of the creek the next day. And so all of these resulted in demonstrative water stoppage and completely, right, and failure. And so we were called out because of the complete water failure. And then after further inspection and investigation, we realized that the copper piping had been cut, the mains had been turned off in most cases, and although we had one where we found water, continuously running. And so we called out emergency plumbing. All the matters with the plumbing have been resolved and restored. All the services were restored right away for the folks once we became aware of them. But the investigation prevention measures that have happened since then, the incident combined, just so you know, included about 5 residential structures, 2 laundry facilities, and 1 public restroom. Security took incident reports on all of these. And then, and while they happened, and when we discovered them, we immediately called the Orange County Sheriff's Department to report the vandalism, theft of what happened to our buildings and our property. And the Sheriff's Department immediately started to increase their patrols in our area. And we had requested that, and they said they would take care of that, and they did that. We increased our patrols. We actually brought on extra personnel at overtime cost to not only patrol that area, but other areas, just because we didn't know where the next spot they may hit. We wanted to show visibility throughout the community of our 3.9 square miles, right? So the other thing we did is that we incorporated with our gate ambassadors, we sent out we had a memo about this before, but we reiterated that we wanted to make sure that from the hours of 10 till 6 in the morning, anybody that was coming through with just a visitor's pass, that we identify them when they come to the gatehouse with actual ID. So we know that person on that pass and who was actually driving that vehicle at the time they entered, which helps us to identify any potential suspects later on if that's what happens. Because in our estimation, it's hard to believe that people would be coming here with tools, cutting the pipes, and then walking off, over a fence or doing. It's possible, but we actually looked at the time the creek and to make sure there weren't any fresh footprints. And there was gates down there that were secured. I'm being told that that they may have been opened recently. So we're looking into that matter with the folks that handle that for us. It may have just been temporary for them doing work, either by the city or by us. But yesterday, just so you know, this was a pre-planned meeting after the first incident. And we had a meeting yesterday with the Chief of Services for Laguna Woods, who is just a great, he's a captain. His name is Ryan Anderson, and very proactive guy. He used to work for Joint Terrorism Task Force, and so he's been on a bunch of what we call high-speed kind of special teams for the Sheriff's Department that does a lot of analysis of information. So he's on board with us, and what he's actually offered for us is he's getting there's some stuff that if we needed a closed session, I would appear in closed session because I can't really talk about it in public because they're covert type operations, and we'd be giving up covert information that way, and we don't want to do that to be successful if we have any chance at all, if they make a repeat appearance of catching these folks. But I will tell you that he's looking at putting in he has already told me he's going to put in his special enforcement team, their SET team. These are people that are unmarked and very hard to tell that they're actually law enforcement officers because they do covert surveillance. He's also, we're actually looking right now at locations where power sources are in certain areas for him to put up what they call pole cams. which are cameras on these very high poles where they can do surveillance work, and it monitors that stuff. And whenever there's movement or activation, they can see something in the area, which helped alert them. And then and then he's actually doing deputies with patrol cars to show a high presence in the area. And we are doing the same thing with our folks as well. And I asked them if there was a high increase in copper pipes being stolen, in the surrounding area. And he says, we've had an increase in not just copper pipes, but a lot of copper wiring. But he goes, but the same thing's happening in Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles, it's really off the hook. And we're seeing a lot more of that recently. But in terms of target hardening, I kind of discussed some of the strategies with you on that. In adding the pole cams, the asset team, and I'm bringing on security patrol officers to do that. I was back there talking to Sean Morgan, who's one of our supervisors that sits here through the open comments, and he had made the recommendation this morning about having our supervisors kind of coming in extra on overlap so that we have additional, and it was actually a smart idea, additional folks that can do that. And we don't know who has actually done this, right? But we've taken videotape, in about 36 hours of videotape, and you have to review this stuff at real time. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And we've given all of that information to the Sheriff's Department, as well as other information that could lead to possible leads, because they need solvability factors to solve these crimes. And so we're working hard with this. We're working hard with them. We have great communication now. He's a new chief of services for Laguna Woods, about a month now. And so he does not like to come in on the new job and then all of a sudden face a big hit like this, and is willing to do what he has to do to assist us and make sure that he keeps us safe as he's required to do, because he's the chief of services for Laguna Woods. But in terms of community vigilance, we just requested the residents report any unusual activity to us, particularly utility or service areas, including work occurring at unusual hours. There shouldn't be. Everybody knows the hours, and then when it gets dark, there should be nobody out there doing that kind of work, and unless it's an emergency services or not that we've actually enlisted. If they're not sure, call us. If they're not sure, call us. We'll go out, investigate it, look at it. If they hear any suspicious noises. We believe they're using hand cutters to cut this for the quietness, but even some of these sawzalls with these really fine blades, and they're cordless, they can cut through it in about 10 seconds, and it happens really quick. So you may not hear that, but if you hear anything suspicious, let us know. Security number at the dispatch is 949-580-1400. That's 949-580-1400. Or the Orange County non-emergency number is 949-770-6011. And of course, if it's an emergency and you actually see a crime in progress, 911.
All right. I'll ask a couple of questions. Is that okay?
Sure.
Eric? Anthony?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I had some copper and I wanted to get rid of it, where would I sell it?
Well, there are places where I think there are two in Orange County that deal with stuff like that, but they usually what they do is when you bring over a substantial amount of if it's copper or any other kind of steel, what they do is they take it and they give you a kind of a voucher, and they hold on to it for about a 48-hour period, because they want to make sure that gives them time for the law enforcement to get out there and ask, hey, is there anybody that's done off a lot of copper lately? And so, and I think the copper's right now about $6 a pound, so you'd have to, collect quite a bit of it, but it doesn't take much after, if they hit places and valves and stuff like that, if they're made of copper or brass, they can do that as well. But and they have to give their identification now. There are probably places that are still working, under the table on that and not legitimate. But most of those refining places or those places where they would turn in that stuff in as bulk and then melt it all down are legitimate, and they have to take the license of the people that are getting it, and then there's a voucher system that I think it's about 48 hours, and then they can return for their money, and that gives us time to investigate, or not us, but it gives law enforcement time to investigate.
Yeah, one of those centers is right there on 4th Street and the railroad tracks in downtown Santa Ana.
Yeah.
I've been there, and they take everything. And there's always a car line there to get in, so it's easy to drop off. I'm glad to hear that they're doing the 48-hour thing. We might luck out. Jonathan, you had something to say?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for the incredible job you've done and your team. I would like to invite you to our private session this afternoon. I have certain comments for your team, and I've been approached by several residents in the last few days for the not only this incident, but certain experiences they had individually regarding the security and the gate. I would like to discuss that personally with you, so I appreciate if you coming in this afternoon. Thank you.
Okay. Kathy?
Hi. I wanted to ask, now you said that you had 36 hours of tapes. Is that the cameras when you come in, I would say gate 2 and gate 1 at that time of night,
Right.
where it shows the drivers, the license plate numbers, the vehicles? Do they also show the people exiting? I don't remember.
The cameras do show vehicles exiting, but they're not, we don't have an RFID reader on those, and we don't check passes as people exit, so they're not, but they would have to get onto the property at some point, and so that's why we're looking at what we can find out between the people that are, between, say, the hours of 10 and 6, and people showing up on our property. And then what they're doing is why they're using an analyst to look at all this stuff is they're comparing the vehicles that came on to there's a lot fewer vehicles that are leaving between 12 and 6 in the morning, right? So all they're looking at those vehicles and seeing which vehicles came on and making a match of those vehicles.
Okay, so the cameras, when you come into any of the gates, they only take pictures of the vehicles if we have the gate arms going up and down?
No, they
They do it no matter what? Okay. So that is an avenue that you're pursuing?
Okay, yeah. Let's have that for a closed session.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
no.
He can talk about procedures on the closed session.
Oh, well, no, not procedures, just the fact that the cameras are there
Yeah.
and they take pictures
I
of
think we don't want to
everything.
tell the whole world how
Yeah.
it records right at this
Okay.
point. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just
Okay.
remember this.
Yeah.
And no more questions? Okay, thank you, Eric.
I do.
I just wanted to say.
May I have
Okay.
just a moment? Thank you, Eric. And, we have a number of residents that are our own personal neighborhood watch. They know everything. They have cameras in their windows, and they watch everything. They call you guys when there's somebody in the carports. And, maybe we need to really emphasize that to people if they have anything like that. And of course, they're probably not targeted in on, the water lines and that sort of thing. But if they just see suspicious people walking around, I don't know. So I do appreciate that. And I tell you, it just burns me because this is more money expended that our HOA dues have to cover. We have to expend money for new patrols, extra people coming in. We have to replace those water lines. So, and the city has got to pay more, to hire more staff to come in. So this hurts everybody. So if we could all be vigilant about see who's walking around. I think it'd be better to over-report than under-report.
Yeah,
Is that true?
I
Would you rather
agree.
hear
And
more?
we've actually have put out there to the investigator that's investigating that there are a number of people with the cameras that they have on their doors and different places that if they, hopefully, if I was an investigator doing this, that's what I'd be looking around, canvassing the area, and then any cameras that I see that they have available, then go ahead and ask them if they could look at footage at certain times. Yeah, I think your point was well made, and we usually do the same thing if we have an incident that doesn't raise the level of crime, an HOA violation. We'll ask folks for camera footage and stuff like that.
All right, thank you again, Eric, and
Okay.
just everybody should remember, you see something, say something. We always say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
No, it's not me.
President Prater, I'd like to continue with my update, if I may.
Thank you.
I'd like to start with some VMS highlights from the prior month. It's worth noting during the month of March, our resident services staff made history by answering 100% of 312 telephone calls received during the one day during the week of March 16th. No callbacks were needed during that day. So that is the first time we've reached the 100% answer rate, and we're very proud of our staff for achieving that. This also reflects appropriate staffing, commitment to employee training, and overall, the resident services team had a 95% answer rate for the month of March, which is very, very good. So I thank them for their efforts. It's also my privilege to tout the accomplishments of our VMS communications team. In 2025, we reached 1.2 million delivered emails to residents and interested parties. We had a 50.6% open rate, which is about 2 times the national average, and a 13% click-through rate, which is, again, well above industry benchmarks. In terms of the website, there were 396,000 website users with 1.8 million page views, and our website traffic increased in 2025 by 20% over the prior year. So my hats off to our communications team.
Yeah.
With the April mailing going out to members, I want to take this opportunity to encourage our members to receive future mailings electronically instead of via the U.S. mail. The mandated November and April mailings cost almost $8 per member for printing and postage. Currently, 4,200 owners have opted for electronic delivery, resulting in an estimated savings of about $34,000 annually. The 2 mailings that we send out consume approximately 2.35 tons of paper, or more importantly, 56 trees. On the next slide, please. Members may update their preferred delivery method by completing the preferred delivery method form, which is in their April and November 2026 mailings, and you can indicate your preference there, or by emailing your preference with a valid email or mailing address to information@vmsinc.org. If 12,000 manners went paperless, this would save almost $100,000 per year.
That's amazing.
And then with the warm, dry weather upon us, except this last weekend where we had some rain, we're encouraging everyone to be wildfire ready. Know your fire extinguishers, where they are, how to use them, and their expiration dates. Learn how to safely shut off gas, electricity, and water. Prepare a go bag with food, water, medications, cash, and so on. Create a wildfire action plan, evacuation routes, meeting points, pet arrangements, and a family communication plan. Find more tips at fire.ca.gov/prepare. Residents should also stay alert with Alert OC. By enrolling in the county's mass notification system and the official source for real-time updates from the Orange County Fire Authority, you can stay abreast of what is happening. And this is available at ocgov.com/about-county/emergency. The OC Fire Authority also provides fire updates on its website. Visit ocfa.org or follow OCFA on social media at OC Fire Authority. Statewide fire information is available at fire.ca.gov/incidents. To supplement the countywide updates, VMS uses the Everbridge notification system to share brief community-specific alerts when needed. Everbridge messages may include urgent local instructions or reinforced guidance from county agencies. You can sign up using the village website. Click Sign Up Today under the Everbridge icon at the bottom right of any page, or you can register via the resident portal. Since wildfires can also affect air quality, we just want to remind anyone that air quality information is available at aqmd.gov. And then lastly, mosquito season is also underway. Mosquitoes need water to breathe. Just 5 to 7 days is enough to complete a life cycle for a mosquito. Most mosquitoes come from small backyard sources, bird baths, buckets, plant saucers, even a bottle cap. Only female mosquitoes bite, and their bites can transmit diseases to people and to pets. There are 2 prevalent types of mosquitoes in Southern California. The Culex mosquito breeds in gutters, ponds, and green pools. They're active at dusk and dawn. And then the Aedes mosquitoes, or otherwise known as the ankle biters, breed in small containers, again, the plant saucers, buckets. Their eggs survive dry conditions for years. They're active during the day, and both species can transmit a variety of diseases. To prevent mosquito bites, apply mosquito repellent to exposed skin, wear repellent clothing, wear long sleeves, long pants, and lighter colored clothing, keep doors and windows closed or properly screened. To eliminate breeding sources, dump water from plant saucers regularly, drain standing water from outdoor containers weekly, and clean and scrub bird baths and pet bowls weekly if they are outside. Residents experiencing mosquito issues may request assistance through the Orange County Mosquito and Vector Control District, and their website is ocvector.org. Their inspectors can assess potential breeding sources and provide guidance to you. And that's my update this morning, and again, I thank Eric for his report as well.
Yes, thank you very much. Maggie?
Yes. I think I remember using an eyedropper of alcohol in all my plant saucers when the water is standing, and that will kill the mosquito larvae in there, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, a little alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol.
99.9%.
Not good stuff. Rubbing alcohol.
Sue, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you for the report. It's very good and great news about our being able to handle all of the phone calls coming in. That's really fabulous. That's great improvement over time, and we're staffed appropriately, as you said. One of the things when you were talking about trying to get people to do these things electronically, you may already do this, but could they start, like when this goes out in November, could they start in September, October, advertising how to do the links to get off of it? I know I am probably one of those people that still receive it, and I need to go off of it, but...
We do send reminders regularly through the What's Up in the Village as well as the Village Breeze.
I thought you
at that
probably
time.
did. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mary?
Yeah, thank you for all that good information. To add on to the pots, after a visit from mosquito control, I turned all of my saucers upside down. And since they're clay, they absorb the water, so it looks nice, and they have the effect of, keeping it moist without being wet. What I really wanted to say is I just discovered at the disaster preparedness meeting that if there was a big evacuation incident, that the OC sheriff controls traffic for evacuation. That's like a really important reason we need to be on the alert OC, because that's where we would find out which routes are open and which routes aren't. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, Phyllis?
Is every residential building supposed to have a fire extinguisher?
I would have to look into that. I think it may depend on the size of the building, but
Yeah,
again,
that'd be a maintenance question.
I'll follow
yeah.
up. I'll get back to you.
Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Item number 10, the consent calendar. Let me read this so we're clear. All the matters listed under the consent calendar are recommended by the action by committees and will be enacted by the board by one motion. In the event that item is removed from the consent calendar by members of the board, such items shall be subject to further discussion and action by the board. Do we have a motion to approve this?
I move to approve the consent calendar.
And a second, Mary, thank you. Any discussion about any of the motion, any of the items? All right, any objection? It passes, thank you very much. Oh, we're voting? No. No.
Yeah, usually with that one, I'll just do unanimous. 'Cause typically
okay.
we don't, have discussion items on it.
All right. All right, unfinished business. Here comes one of our favorite people. We get to hear the disciplinary update report.
I'm glad we got that on camera. Good morning, good morning. So my name is Frances. I'm the operations manager for the compliance division, and I am here to report on the disciplinary update report. So before you, you do have a table with the breakdown of the disciplinary cases from January to March of this year, so for the first quarter. We started the month of March with 316 cases, and we ended with 312 cases. As you can see, even for the last quarter, the overall activity remains stable, with clutter being representing the most common compliance concern. So easy peasy, this concludes my report, so I'm available for questions if the board has any.
Kathy, yes.
Hi, how are you? Last month, I requested some information that I was told that I would be given concerning the traffic violations as far as the parking tickets. And I never received that information. I was basically told that the 5, and 2, or from December through February. And my question was, were those the only parking tickets that were issued during those months? And I believe there was someone from security, I didn't write his name down, and he said no, that there were multiples, but these are ones that are problems. So I wanted to know, per the month, how many parking tickets are actually issued in the mutual, and no one ever got back to me.
I could send that to you, so I'll connect with you and I'll send it to you.
Will you please?
Yes, it's the overall numbers that are generated for the SCAC meeting, so that's where I'll pull it out and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
My apologies then.
No, that's all right. I have one other question. Under the illegal occupancies, so for March, there are 21. Have you located those 21 people? Are they going to pay the additional third-person fee, or what are you doing about that?
It's a combination of things. So illegal occupancies, because it's already reflected in your report, means we have an open, active case on that.
Okay.
So it could be anywhere in the process, whether it's a first notice where we're just advising the member of the violation, or it could be all the way to it's a hearing happening or has occurred. This number, the 22 or the 21 number, indicates people who have either extended their lease, who have occupied the unit prior to getting board approval, or do have additional occupants that we need to make sure are documented appropriately in your system. So we just follow the board-approved disciplinary process to ensure that they comply with the rules. Once they comply, they'll get removed from the report.
Okay, I was just curious because the number seems to be consistent every month, and so I was just wondering how many are actually getting closed out, or do we just have that many violators?
You're welcome. So this is a snapshot in time. So it's definitely a snapshot at the end of the month. As many as we have for illegal occupancy, as many as we have closed is how many we have open. So if you want, I could start reporting how many are new cases and how many are closed cases, or give you an overall complied case number to give you that number. But this one's just a snapshot in time.
Okay, thank you. No, I believe I would refer to President Prater whether or not that information would be required. It would seem to be a lot of work to get that particular information.
Yes. It's additional steps, or if there's a specific area that you want us to look at, I could do that too.
I would discuss it with President Prater before I would ask anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Francis? Thank you, Francis.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Town Hall. We had a town hall last Friday, and there were a few people there. The El Toro Water District came in, and they had a fantastic presentation. It really showed a lot of information, how our water gets here, how it's actually pricing, and the people that are not only serviced by, they're not only servicing us, but they have the surrounding cities here, and it's amazing how they get the water around and provide their services. It was very, very good town hall. And we have, yes, Mary?
The town hall, the general manager did the presentation, very thoroughly covered their costs and our cost of water and how the two are connected. And for anyone who's interested, who feels like that price is going up too much, is more than welcome to join the community advisory group. And so you can go on to the El Toro Water District website and sign up. And every quarter there's a meeting, and the general manager delivers a presentation. Usually it's budget related, and the members or the attendees are welcome to ask questions. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Maggie, did you have your hand? I'm sorry, Maggie.
I have a question about what it would cost to record our town halls and then replay them on the website. What would it cost to film that?
We can provide that information, but it will not only be costly, but we may have to add additional staff because that is not the level we're staffed to. And then it depends on the facilities. Some facilities lend themselves to recording and others do not. So
Okay.
there's a myriad of factors.
So that's a big question. Okay.
Thank you. All right. Okay. We have discussed the cost reduction. Oh, I think Mr. Hormuth is going to come on our podium. Steve is going to give us some information on the cost reduction plan.
Yes. Good morning, President Prater, members of the board. I believe many of you have received this presentation previously at our last finance. We had an open session meeting a couple weeks back, but just for the benefit of the board, I want to make certain that the whole board is updated as well as any of the members that are listening. So as a reference, when we released the preliminary financial statements for United as of December 31st, so the results of the year came back unfavorable to budget at approximately $1.3 million. As a reminder, this was due to outside services, including plumbing repairs. We had some higher than anticipated utility expenses, workers' compensation, as well as some legal charges as well. When you look at the final numbers for the year, the preliminary numbers at the end of the year, forget budget to actual and just look at where you landed, revenue minus expenses, it was actually $392,000 loss. Now, the reason why you had a difference between a $392,000 loss versus a $1.3 million unfavorable to budget, it's because in 2025, we had baked into the plan a $900,000 recovery of your contingency fund. So said differently, we elevated your contributions into your contingency fund in order to replenish some of your cash, right? So that helped offset that additional income, offset some of your higher than anticipated expenses. So as a result of coming in unfavorable in 2025, the board recommended or requested staff to come back and identify some cost savings that could be achieved in 2026. So we presented some initial findings in our February presentation to the finance company, and then we gave some preliminary numbers to the board at my last presentation. As anticipated, the savings came back significantly small because when we prepare your budgets, we're really lean, right? So we don't include a bunch of additional cushion in your budgets. It's very, very lean. So the board directed us to go back to the drawing table and identify if we could find any further. So all this took place during the audit. So while we were going through our normal procedures, we identified about $700 and I believe $20,000 that was put into the operating expenses that should have gone into the reserves. So ultimately, once that was corrected, you ended the year in a favorable position. So, but that still leaves another about $300,000 for us to identify in 2026. So you have staff's commitment to work with the board to look at expenses over the course of the year and do our best to identify either additional revenues or some expenses that can, well, revenues could increase or expenses that could be shaven. So again, we will commit to this or we have committed to this, and we will continue to provide updates to the Finance Committee. So we do have a number of fees that are part of the scheduled increases, and we'll be proposing those to you probably in early Q3. That way we can make certain that we achieve some of those additional revenues. And again, that is just part of the standard increases that we take your previous increases, your previous fees, and make certain they're keeping pace with inflation. So we'll bring those to you later on in the year. And that is the presentation.
All right, thank you. Yes, Sue.
Thank you for giving us your explanation, and I know we are very lean, and we tried very hard to get a balanced budget this year, and sometimes in the past that did not happen, and so Director Tom Tuning at the time seriously fought for us getting to a balanced budget, and we all concurred that that is the way that we should be going forward. However, that's painful. When you decide you're going to go to a balanced budget, that means you have to collect more funds and to cover the costs. But you have to cover your costs. So even though we say that we're $392,000 down and a loss to make up in 2026, we essentially came in $1.3 million short. Now, whether it's in operating or whether it's in reserve,
Read a lot of environmental.
Open line manager, open.
We are headed for some. Because we have power outage for a second and third floor. Yeah.
I'm going to say it's probably somebody's floor heater that we told them not to use.
We're gonna check with TV6 first. Oh, we have audio now. So
Okay. One more thing to check.
Well, can I continue my story, if you don't mind?
Was it a good story?
With the corporate secretary?
Oh, okay.
Fine.
You have our
Okay,
attention.
I'm paying attention now.
Okay, Mama, let's.
Can we ask a question of Steve, knowing that this isn't being recorded, just? Is it us, or like United, do we pay our own electric bill for our own, all the street lights in United, or is that
Simple question.
city?
That's
or
closed
is that-
session. That's closed session.
I'm asking a
I
question.
should know
that-
this,
that's
so,
not
but maybe you can
That's
help.
coming up.
I mean, it's yeah.
So Director Kwam is asking who pays for the street lights? So the electricity for the street lights.
Sure.
I don't know off the top of my head.
That's okay. You know, if you'll look at it and let us know later.
Sure.
Whether it's GRF or whether it's the city, I don't know.
Will do.
Thank you.
Closed session.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be closed.
Isn't that what she's talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, but she's talking about the cost of
I
it.
thought maybe she didn't get it.
Yeah. That's a different subject.
Oh, okay, so you got this.
Yeah.
I sure did.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you.
TV6, are we on?
They're lit up.
Yeah, I got some questions about that too.
It's, yeah.
I'm gonna wait till the presentation. If we keep brightening the night, this isn't closed, this is just a statement. If we keep brightening the night, right? So
Yeah.
everybody can read in case they get an urge to read at midnight outdoors, you know, they should be able to do that, right?
That's right.
Do you think coyotes are bad? People already can't sleep. I read
Test,
my
test.
studies.
We're good?
Justice-
Oh, wait,
Oh,
patience.
Grant's here. They'll fix it. I give them a lot of credit.
Okay, we're good to go.
All right, okay. Meeting back to order, thank you. Steve, will you We're exactly where you are.
I had a question for Steve that I was asking, if I can continue. We had talked about how we're $392,000 loss, and we need to make that up in 2026. But essentially, we're 1.3 million down because we transferred the remainder over into from operating to reserves. So don't we have to make that 1.3 million up? I mean, if we're short 1.3 million in operating and we transfer the majority of that expense because we didn't tag it correctly, we still need to try to build that into next year's budget, do we not, if we want to keep our reserves where they are?
Correct. So from a reserve perspective, so ultimately, you were under budget in reserves in this area. However, that had to do with a reallocation into the future for some other expenses. So the short answer is yes, you will need to be continuing to rebuild your reserves as a result of us properly transferring from operating to reserves.
Right. Thank you.
Kathy?
I just wanted to let Sue know, and Steve can confirm this, that last month when we were discussing this, where they were switching the funds from one area to another area to correct the books as Murad had wanted, in the Green Book, there is a 4-year plan to recover that 1.3 million. And what we wanted was some additional cost savings. Is that not correct, that 1.3 was already scheduled to be recouped over the next 4 years?
Not necessarily. So this had to do with some unforeseen expenses, right? So, and again, in the reserves, as I just mentioned, so we had some delays in our expenditures because you had budgeted to do certain work, but because of some dry rot, that's got been pushed out into the future. So that savings was eliminated by us transferring from operating into reserves. The short answer is you do have some efforts in the future that you're going to need to increase your contributions to reserves.
Okay, so the 4 years that shows in the Green Book, that is basically to bring the reserves up over the next 4 years from 17 to 30% or something like that?
Correct.
So I had the two confused. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, your goal is ultimately to get it to the 30% marker, and we had put in a plan a couple of years ago to slowly increase your contributions. So that increase is already baked into the 30-year plan, but every year the board has to approve those increases. And this year, when we make the proposal to the board for the 2027 plan, we may maintain what we proposed in the 2027, or we may go a little higher in order to accelerate that plan.
Thank you.
Yes, Paul?
We do have a member comment when ready via Zoom.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Go
We
ahead.
do have another directors. We're good? Okay. Let me pull up Dick Rader. Give me a second.
Where are you, Dick?
Dick, are you on there? Let me try it again.
There he comes. Here he comes.
Let me see if he can unmute himself.
You can unmute yourself, Dick.
We're going to give him another 10 seconds.
Okay.
Hey, come on, my stomach thinks my throat's been cut.
Your time is
Dick.
running, Dick.
Unmute yourself.
I'm just kidding.
We're going to have to move on. So.
Okay, yeah, we'll go on if he, all right. Okay. Steve is done with that report. Is that it? Any more questions for Steve?
Any comment from Dick?
No, he's not coming on. Yeah. All right, thank you, Steve. We'll hear from you in a few minutes, I'm sure. All right, we're going to now entertain a motion to approve the enacting operations for accessibility policy. The March was the notification, 28-day notification for members review. and comments to comply with Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied. Do we need to read the, okay, thank you, Maggie.
Resolution 0126XX, alterations for accessibility policy. Whereas the United Laguna Woods Mutual recognizes the need to amend policies and create new policies as necessary, and whereas members have expressed concern over the time required to fulfill the variance process for common area accessibility improvements to their manor, and whereas the Mutual, through Resolution 012280, adopted and implemented the land use alteration policy, which remains in effect for all alterations not contained within the proposed alterations for accessibility policy. And whereas the Board of Directors determines that California Civil Code Section 4600B3F allows the approval of alterations to take place on common area to accommodate a disability. Now therefore be it resolved, April 14, 2026, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the alterations for accessibility policy as attached to the official meeting minutes, and resolve further that the determination of whether a proposed accessibility request meets the criteria set forth by the alterations for accessibility policy shall be made by staff in consultation with the Architectural Control and Standards Committee as needed per governing mutual documents, and subject to appeal to the mutual board, whose decision shall be final and made in the mutual board's sole and absolute discretion. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. March initial notification, 28-day notification for member review and comments to comply with Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied. I move this resolution.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any opposition? No opposition, this is passed.
Can we have discussion?
Discussion, yes, please. Mrs. Sue, go ahead.
Ellen, may I ask a question of you?
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, do you want to hold off on the voting?
Well, yeah,
for
we had
discussion?
a
Okay.
motion, a second, and I didn't
Right.
do the
This
discussion.
is discussion. Good morning, Alan. Thank you. This is one of our best directors. He does a great job, a program director, and I appreciate you coming forward. You study everything so diligently. So if I ask this question and you haven't had time to think about it, no worries. We can talk about it later. But we've always had to do reasonable accommodations. And so with this new policy, can you tell us what the changes, what an example of a change might be that we're not currently doing that we would be required to do with this, the passage of this?
Yeah, certainly the significant change is that right now, if a member wants a stair lift, for example, they need to go through not only the mutual consent, but the variance procedure. That process now takes 2 months plus, depending. With the creation and passage of this accessibility policy, that process would be just a simple mutual consent. So that could go for 14 days, you can get approval as opposed to plus 2 months through the variance process. So that's the main thrust of the enacting of this policy. As we did the research, we made sure that the policy complies with the Government Fair Housing Act.
Thank you. Mr. President, I noticed that we've had people coming in here and asking for a special dispensation for parking. And now I read in here, I can't, of course, can't find the page right now, but it says that if they do have a, oh, here it is. That's on page 7 of 11D. Is a request for parking space because of a physical disability a reasonable accommodation or a reasonable modification? And according to this, it says yes, that we would need to do that. But providing a parking accommodation that could include creating signage, repainting markings, redistributing spaces, or creating curb cuts. This list is not exhaustive. So, you know, for the people that that have come in and asked for this, we'll have to look at this again. So, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, Elsie.
Oh.
Alan?
Hey, Alan.
Come on down.
This isn't my question, but in regards to what my dear friend Sue Kwong had to say, isn't the law the reasonable accommodation? Isn't our being private a private property place? That used to make a difference. I mean, it didn't give us carte blanche, but doesn't that cause some? Isn't there some variance? In other words, it's not just across the board, right?
It is.
It is.
Whatever that's, I don't know, does it? Can everybody get a parking place
Well,
in front
that
of their
is
house?
outside of Laguna Woods Village parameters. If you need a handicap sticker, for example, the state has guidelines that you need to go through to get that.
Right. Well, anyway, because what I was going to ask was, when we went through this before, because you've been working on this a long time, now I'm back to what we're voting on today. There was some change, and I think it was just to be in conformance with a change in the law, but it's a change to us too, relative to something about returning it to its original condition at the owner's cost, but then, like I know for the stair lifts, that becomes mutual property, and that's still the same, right?
Right now, the policy is,
Well, we already have a thing for that, a standard for that, now that I think about it, right?
well, the stair lifts, let's stay with stair lifts that have been approved. The stipulation is at the end of their useful life, or if the manor moves, then they are required to remove the improvement or remove the stair lift.
That's the stairway. The stair lift.
Right.
I just know, I was reading all that stuff when we were going through it before. There was something I thought that had changed, but the only reason we had changed it, like you, I understand this is, the main difference is this is becoming a standard instead of the
variant.
The variance, right. Well, never mind. I can't remember, and it's not obviously ringing any bells with you, so.
Well, the general guideline, if an accessibility request is approved, and I use stair lift because that's typically the most common one that we see. If the member moves, then they're required to remove the accessibility improvement, unless in this particular case, if the new buyer wants to keep it, then it is stated so, and they can keep it.
And how about a ramp for it? Because that's fairly common, not as much, but does a ramp have to be removed?
Technically, it would, if the member put it in, unless there was agreed upon permission to keep it.
Like it might be a selling point.
Right.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Sorry,
Okay.
thanks.
Kathy?
Elsie, it's on page 11, oh, excuse me, page 10 of 32, attachment to the appendix. That would answer all the questions that you just brought up, 10, 11, and 12.
I knew I'd see it.
I know, that's why I just, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Thanks.
No, thank you.
No questions? All right, we can vote now. It's on the screens. There we go. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yep, motion passes.
Motion passes, thank you. All right. The next item is updating.
There are 9 of us.
There's
And
9
I'm
items?
voted.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
There were 9 votes.
okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, that motion passes. We are now looking at the committee appointments. There is a resolution here with the committee appointments. It is 6 pages long. I don't think we need to read them all.
So yeah, normally we have it under consent calendar. I think the reason why we had it in unfinished business this month is we wanted to emphasize the new creation of the Water Conservation Committee. So if you want to like just give a brief like, you know,
Okay.
update on that.
It's on the GR phone, right?
Yeah, it's page 6 of 6, 11E.
6 of 6, all right. Let's make there, yeah. Yeah, what it is, there's a new Water Conservation Committee formed through GRF and Third and us. Sue Quam, Mary Sinclair, and Phyllis Mitchell are our representatives. Okay. All right, everybody? I think we need to make a motion to pass this. Oh, questions? Wait till we make the motion in the second. So we have, Kathy makes a motion, Mary seconds. Okay, now we can have a discussion.
I am not listed under governing docs review. Do you still want me to go?
Okay, we took Wendy off. Jonathan went on. And Phyllis, I think we changed. Pardon me? You want Phyllis on? That's an easy request.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I move that we amend the Governing Documents Review Committee to add Phyllis onto the committee, and that would make it a 5-member committee.
Okay.
And that's the United.
This is the United one,
Docs.
yeah.
And Wendy is off?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Phyllis, you were on that
So
one?
she's replacing Wendy.
Well, first, okay, the motion there, second real quick for the amendment.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Elsie.
Okay.
And any opposition? Okay, so the amendment now is part of this?
Okay.
Okay, now can we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Second. Jonathan, thank you. Any opposition? It is approved. Thank you, everybody. Quick,
That's
easy.
okay with you, Phyllis, right? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No,
She brought it, she's the one who brought it
she's
up.
screaming.
Get my name back on there.
Pretty quiet over there.
All right, thank you. All right, now we can go to new business. Let's start out at A. It's the entertain a motion to approve the revision to Standard 9, the exterior floor, second floor manners. April notification, 28-day, has complied with Civil Code 4360.
Revised Resolution Standard 9, interior flooring for second floor manners. Whereas the United Laguna Woods Mutual recognizes the need to amend standards and create new standards as necessary, and whereas the Mutual recognizes the need to revise Standard 9, interior flooring on second floor manners. Now therefore be it resolved May 12, 2026, the Board of Directors hereby adopts revision and amendments to Standard 9, interior flooring for second floor manners, as attached to the official meeting minutes, and resolve further that the 12563 adopted June 10th, 2025 is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolve further that the officers and operations of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution as written. April notification. Should the board endorse the proposed revisions, staff recommends that a motion be made and seconded to accept the resolution and allow discussion to ensure that the resolution reads to the satisfaction of the board. Staff then recommends that a board member postpone the resolution to the next available board meeting, no less than 28 days from the postponement, to comply with Civil Code 4360. My question is, did we not vote against this at the last meeting? Yes.
Go ahead, Sue.
I thought this was the recommendation that was put forward by the alterations committee that kept it, that
had been held during the other
yes,
discussion?
that previously, and was not
Is that right?
the alternative that had been
Recommended.
discussed. Is that correct?
Is that
Correct. This motion passed at the last ACS.
All right,
Yes.
thank you. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. I move this resolution.
Do we have a second? Any other questions on this?
Yes, I object to the consideration of this question.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean, Tony?
That means that there's no debate. I don't need a second. There's no, it can't be amended, and it goes to a 2/3 vote.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so all in favor
Of what?
of accepting the,
Oh, accepting this?
yes.
Do you want to put the screen up?
Wait,
We,
I'm sorry, could
There's a motion on the
you
floor.
explain that? I mean,
It's
I'm not
very
arguing.
simple. Section 26, I object to the consideration of the
Yeah.
question. Now,
He
either yes or no.
objects. So his motion is that we may not discuss this motion and pass this motion today.
But he said something about 2/3.
It would take a
That
It'll
would
take
remove
two-thirds.
it from our consideration.
Holy cow.
So that's what Anthony is suggesting. If you vote yes, you vote to remove this from our consideration.
So if I may, just as a reminder, what's being discussed this morning for approval or denial is simply a change to the existing standard. That change, the standard now requires a mutual consent.
Mr. President, there's no discussion on this.
Yeah.
It goes to a 2/3 vote. There's no
Okay.
discussion.
all right, and that's what we're trying to clear out to make sure we do it right. Thank you. All
So
right,
if you want this removed,
if you
then
want it
you vote
removed, you
yes.
vote yes. If you want it to go forward, it's that.
It's a no.
Okay, so we'll put this on the screen.
Thank you.
Just don't worry about the description on the screen right now. You're just voting on Anthony's motion.
So, Anthony, can you repeat your statement?
My statement is I object to the consideration of this motion.
So, are we doing a yes or no on the screen? Okay.
No, we do it on the screen?
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
screen.
just hit your,
7, 8, 9. Okay.
it
So
fails, the
that fails.
motion fails.
So the motion goes forward
Yes,
as is. Okay.
so now we're voting on the motion
Now we're
itself.
doing on the motion, yes. And I think we've already done the motion, right? And
Yes, I
seconded?
made the motion.
Yeah, the motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion on it?
Yes.
Yes, Tony.
If you read this motion, which you haven't, Section 4 is taken verbatim from third. We are not third, we are a co-op. And a co-op or organization owned democratically controlled by members to meet their shared economic and social cultural needs. And so what this motion is going to do is create the Hatfields and the McCoys. Because when you go and you have a beef, whoever loses is angry for the rest of their life, and you're going to create tension between upstairs and downstairs. And the real culprit is the co-op, because the co-op is not fulfilling the purpose as it states in its bylaws. And so this whole this whole thing should be sent back to committee, because first of all, even if you don't agree with this, this has come right out of third, word for word, and I disagree with it.
Okay, Maggie?
We voted against this. We are not third. We are not going to make hard floors illegal in United on the second floor. We are following the state recommendations. We are not violating any recommendations at all. So this would revolutionize the sales process and all kinds of things. But we are not, if you vote against this proposition, then that makes it impossible to have a hard flooring of any kind, even if it's not hard. They aren't hard anymore. They are, we have sound requirements for them that we've had for a couple of years. And so if you do this, that means that on sale or exchange, there may be the possibility that every single second floor with non-carpeted flooring on the majority of the property would have to be removed and carpeting put in where there is currently a more easy to manage flooring. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think
Elsie,
Elsie was
please.
next.
I don't have a dog in this fight.
Right.
I'm just saying that I don't believe it's this way or carpet. I don't believe those are the two choices. As I understood the reports that were submitted from another source, and again, I'm not a sound expert, but from other reports I've read, it sounds like the main objection to this one is that if this becomes our standard, that it's not adequate. I just want everybody to vote for it, knowing what they're voting for, and or at least looking at the different views. But if we get this, I'm not speaking against this. I'm just saying I don't think it's this way or carpeting, period. I think there's another standard, if you will, or another engineering explanation for what makes the most sound. And that's what the engineer that I read, the one that was being circulated,
Right.
said. It wasn't so much that you had to get carpeting, it was that there's other ways to make a standard. That's all I wanted to say.
Alan, you had something to...
Yeah, if I may, to provide some context here, the standard itself was passed mid-year last year. That's not what's being discussed this morning. What's being discussed this morning is only a change to the process. Right now, the process is a mutual consent is required for flooring. This policy or proposed change simply removes the mutual consent process and adds a simple registration process. It saves the member the time and the dollar amounts for a mutual consent process. So that's all that's being discussed here this morning is a change to that process change. If the board wants to continue discussion go back to revisiting the standard that was approved mid last year, then that's a separate issue that you're certainly entitled to do so. But right now, all that's being discussed for approval or denial is a simple change into mutual consent to a simple registration form.
I think Kathy was first.
All right, so if I'm understanding that correctly, I thought we were, this had to do with, for the new flooring that goes upstairs, that it has to be at 57 decibels. Is that not part of what this is?
That's
No,
not part of this.
the standard itself, again, was passed 6 months, 8 months, 9 months
Okay.
ago.
June.
In June.
June.
That's
So the
passed.
57 is already in place?
It's been active since June of last year.
Okay, and so we are voting on,
A process.
So the intent is to make it simpler for the member to change their flooring by, all they have to do is fill out a registration form at the manor alterations
but they
office.
do have to comply to the requirements that were passed last year, which
Right,
is
the
the
standard
higher
is not
decibel.
changing, just
The standard's
how
not
it's
changing,
registered.
just the process. Any more questions? Sue? Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Anthony?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This, first of all, this is a motion. When a motion gets on the floor, it's up to the directors to decide how far they want to carry it. There's no direction that we're only discussing one part of the motion. The motion is up for us to decide on. And nobody, and my objection was not talking about decibels or sound.
Right.
My whole point is that section 4 in standard 9 does not belong in there. It's taken verbatim from third. And third wants to put one resident against another resident when there's beef. And I say that that doesn't fly. We're a co-op. And instead of putting one person against another, go after the co-op because they have deeper pockets. That's my whole, that whole section 4. If you look at third, it's verbatim out of third. We are not third. We're a co-op.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'm looking at this, and it is mentioning section 3.1 and 3.1A. Okay, I don't see anything.
4.6, look at section 4, where it says when it comes to a beef, how they're going to handle it. It's right out of third.
But that's not what's before us
That's not what's
today.
before us, Tony. We're looking at section 3.1.
We're talking about standard 9, are we not? Are we talking about architectural control standard number 9?
That's 4.6, it's on page 12 of 30.
I think Jonathan wanted to speak.
Jonathan, did you have a?
No.
Okay.
Well, we discussed this in the last month to the detail, and we decided and we passed whatever we decided with majority of voters. What we are talking today has nothing to do with what was passed last week. This is only a process, as he mentioned, and he keeps repeating, this is a process change to make it easier to register. So when it comes to the sale, when it comes to the rental, it is obvious to the buyer that this is what it is.
Okay. So, okay, the motion is on the floor. It's been seconded. Discussion. Now we can vote.
Wait.
Oh, somebody said wait.
What is the change in this motion?
The standard as it's written now requires a mutual consent. The alteration or the proposed change is remove the mutual consent and make it a simple registration.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
What do you, I'm sorry, but this is remedial, I know, but what is a mutual consent?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Board
Mutual
approval.
consent is like a permit. So
Okay.
any changes that the member makes to their manners requires a mutual consent or a permit from the manor alterations
And-
office.
And this is regarding the flooring only. Is that correct?
Well, right now, as the standard is written, if you want to change your floor, it would require a mutual consent, which candidly is a bit overkill for what's being required here. That's why we're voting to make it a simple registration process.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, we can vote now. Two more here. Who's missing?
Maggie and Kathy.
Okay. She's reading it, it's okay.
I'm trying to figure it out. So this change requires mutual consent, which is not needed now. Thank you.
It removes it.
Okay. We have 69. Motion passes. Resolution passes. All right, thank you. Okay. Now we have, oh. Oh. It passed.
Hang on.
It passed.
It passed.
Passes.
I know it did, but I'm
Yeah.
just.
So yeah, just
All right,
No.
motion passed. Okay, let's go on, please, to number 12B. Entertain a motion to approve the revision of Standard 41, the electric vehicle charging stations. The
Oh,
April
here it is.
initial notification, 28 days has been met, and we are complying with 4360. Maggie, are you going to read that?
Resolution 0126XX, revised standard 41, electric vehicle charging stations. Whereas the United Laguna Woods Mutual recognizes the need to amend standards and create new standards as necessary, and whereas the Mutual recognizes the need to revise standard 41, electric vehicle charging stations, now therefore be it resolved May 12, 2026, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts revision and amendments to Standard 41, electric vehicle charging stations as attached to the official meeting minutes, and resolve further that Resolution 01-1501, adopted January 13, 2015, is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution as written. The April notification. Should the board endorse the proposed revisions, staff recommends that a motion be made and seconded to accept the resolution and allow discussion to ensure that the resolution reads to the satisfaction of the board. Staff then recommends that a board member postpone the resolutions to the next available board meeting no less than 28 days from the postponement to comply with Civil Code 4360. I move this resolution. I'm sorry?
That's what they said, that we've met the 28 day. Yeah.
So you're not moving it to do 28 days, it's already done it.
Yeah, we're approving it.
No, this is on 28 days starting this month. If you look at the agenda, it says April initial notification. Just like the previous item as well. So these are all going on 28 days.
So we're taking off the April initial identification paragraph, or we're saying
No.
that paragraph has been satisfied?
No, it has not been satisfied. These are all new business items.
All right, so this is news, so this
Yeah.
is
So
the
now we're
first
sending it
reading.
to 28 days.
So
Correct, that is correct.
we put it over for 28 days
Yes.
if we vote yes today.
Right,
Thank you.
okay.
I second it.
Okay, go ahead, second. Any discussion? Go ahead, Jonathan, you're first.
Yeah, once again, you know, I have a short memory, so I don't remember what we did whole last month, and that's not an excuse. So please stay with the subject. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. Sue?
I wanted to ask a question, if there's anybody here that can answer it. There was legislation that was passed. I went to a CIA meeting, and it said that we can no longer require them to cover the insurance, make them have an insurance policy that would cover the HOA, like the additional cost. So like if it's, you have your car in the carport, you put in a new charger, you cannot then bill on top of that for like for us, I assume it's the entire carport. And so this is kind of timely. I mean, this is the law. They're simply trying to get us to comply with the law, to take this out of our current policy and comply with what the law is. I think it's unfortunate that the law was changed to do this, but it is the law, and we cannot go against that. In a court, we would lose. So what they're trying to do is just make it current. So I wanted to ask a question. I have a resident who wants to buy an electric car, and she's had one previously, and she wanted to do the entire expense of putting in a fast charger. That's probably a different issue from this, so we'll stick to the topic, but I would like to talk to somebody about whether or not that is allowable under this new law. But my understanding of this is that we're simply deleting the part of our policy that can no longer be enforced. Is that correct, Ellen?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
All right. I'm sorry, Elsie. I'm looking to my left again.
Okay, the quick question I had, but I got more. The quick question was, it says in all the versions I could plow through here, it says payment for the member is responsible for payment of electrical services. So do these folks have to pay the golf cart? You pay $200 and some a year or whatever it is because you're charging at your carport. So do these guys have to pay that same fee to charge at their carport?
Not for this standard.
So this one is electrical, so they don't, what does electrical service mean? I'm sorry.
Well, they are required,
Like,
if they
Like the
want to add
Correct.
a charging station for their electric vehicle,
right.
all that cost associated with that, the member bears.
I wonder why it doesn't just say that, just all costs associated with that, but that's all right.
Because that'd be too simple.
So with one of these charging stations, do you know if we'll go ahead and charge them for the electricity?
We can't.
If their utility rate increases as a result of adding a charging station,
No. Well, I'm talking, isn't this in the carport?
it is.
Well, how are we going to know if they're, no.
They'd have a dedicated line.
They have a dedicated line with the
Oh,
meter.
they have a dedicated line.
It goes back to the mutuals or the members panel, electrical service panel.
Well, which one? If it's the mutuals,
No,
then they should
no,
say
sorry.
yes.
Not the mutuals. the
Oh, that
members'
was a slip of the old
individual
tongue.
panels.
I gotcha.
So they may have to upgrade their panel, or their panel may be okay as is. That's determined by the company adding the charging station.
But they end up paying, it's
But-
not going to increase the mutuals. And-
That's
and-
correct.
Okay,
no
and I
addition-
didn't get that from, and I really did read through it several times, so if there's something, anyway, doesn't matter if everybody else can understand it, but Now, damn, what was the other thing?
Responsibility is on the manor owner.
Yeah, well,
Or
yeah.
member.
It doesn't say that, but that's okay. I don't think it says it anywhere. I thought it said payment for electrical services, but I thought that,
That's what the law says.
they'll
Yeah.
pay for the electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and
again,
as far as the $1 million in insurance went, okay, like if we have something that happened recently in our own nearby carport, when our carport, say that had been the fault of, it was determined to be the fault of one of these things we're talking about. So the way I would read that $1 million in the change business is it's just adding one more step, because wouldn't we as a mutual sue the member if something they were responsible for burned down our carport or our manors? I mean, it's more elegant making us a co-coveree, as it were. But if that's been eliminated, don't we still have?
so just to clarify, if you want to look at page 3 of 38, item 12B, under discussion.
3 of 28?
3 of 28.
Page 3 of 28.
Yeah.
Under the staff report, under the discussion, that summarizes the whole reason that this standard is being discussed this morning. As Director Quam indicated, Senate Bill 770, Chapter 525, basically states that the mutual can no longer require the member to be named as additional insured.
Right, I got that part.
It doesn't change the insurance requirements for the member,
Right,
just that they can't name the mutual as additional insured.
right. But what if, that's what I'm asking. So what if something and incidentally, I can't find 3 of 28. I don't have it. Bad staff.
It's ahead of the pink page.
Okay, good staff. I remember seeing that. So, thank you. I remember reading this, but so when I read it, my first reaction was, come on, but we have to comply. And then I thought, well, we'll probably, as a mutual, we would just have recourse to, it's just adding a step. We're still going to get our damages, right?
Right. So
Yes.
a byproduct of this change would, well, let me put it, you might want to check to see what the current mutual insurance ratings are, or if something like this were to happen, does the mutual insurance cover that? If
No,
that's
why
what you're
would our
asking.
insurance have to cover it? Their insurance should cover it, if
Yeah.
they're responsible for it.
I'll say something about that from the insurance part. Like our insurance, we just had an incident over there.
Yeah.
Our insurance, we cover the first 100,000. We have a
Yeah.
$100,000 deductible.
You're right,
And then the insurance kicks in.
right.
Now, we will pursue that $100,000 by the persons who's responsible for the starting of the dam, it's fire in this case, okay?
We should go after them for the whole amount.
No,
If
that's
it's
why we
their
have insurance. That's why
responsibility.
we have insurance. We have, the insurance company,
No.
they will do that, okay? That's the insurance companies will go after that. They do. We're covering the first $100,000. We will go to their insurance company, okay? The other, let's say it costs $200,000. Believe me, the insurance company isn't going to sit there and say, here's an extra $100,000. The insurance company does pursue their legal rights to go after that money.
Just 100,000,
If it's 100,000 over the 100,000.
but it's still on our claim record. I mean,
We'll go after it.
That's okay,
We'll go
we
after it.
go after it. Yeah.
so that's what I read.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted that, was that however we do it, we would recoup our losses.
That's
So it's
right.
just like adding a step then, right? Instead of dealing directly as a co-insured party, we're dealing separately as an injured, right?
That's right.
Okay, I got
Okay.
it.
Sue?
You know, I looked up 770, and it says that the charging station placed in a common area or an exclusive use common area of a common interest development, that's us, including that the owner is required to provide a certificate of insurance that names the association as an additional insured party. That's what's stricken. So like if I was going to, it just would, they wanted an insurance policy for that person and an insurance policy for the CID. So if, you know, I have a hybrid and I plug it in, and so I need to make sure that I buy enough insurance that I can cover the cost if the carport burns down. And that is on myself. It's really not that much different. It's just how you go about getting the money.
Getting the money.
Now, so
That's a step.
it's a step. So just for personal responsibility, this does not take you out of being responsible for the damage done to a CID property. It means that you're just not listed, they don't have to list you as an insured party. So we will just go through our proper procedures. Daniels will go in and get the insurance.
Right.
If needed, we will sue them to get the money.
Well, I get
You know,
that.
that.
But in fact, that's exactly how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
But then Alan said, like it was two separate losses, like they had to cover the damage to their car and their private property, but then we would be responsible for
It would be a
using
two-step.
our own insurance.
It would
to-
be a two-step.
That's correct.
And then we would then go after that owner if it is found that they were negligent or liable.
That's what I thought, but then what's that got, well, you know what?
I think
I'm
we
out-
just have
I'm
to
out of
comply
here.
with the law. And
We just
and
go by the law.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but we could not let them put them in our carports.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't know if you can do that. I think, you know,
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation. I don't
Yeah,
think we
listen.
could stop progress.
I think it's germane if we're talking about $1 million lawsuit. Excuse
Yeah,
me,
Okay.
we're all over.
Hey, everybody,
he's the chair. Thank you.
thank you. All right. Kathy, one more.
So my question, I understand what Sue just read, and that's, I believe, we're speaking mainly of the freestanding carports. What about the carports that are underneath the mutuals and damage occurs and it damages 2 or 3 of those units directly under there? Is $1 million enough for us to recoup and repair those manners? Is $1 million enough? That's all my question is. I mean, I understand, but
Yeah, yeah, right.
it's a concern.
Yeah, okay. I don't have that question. I'm not, Daniels would have to explain that. Okay, I know we are very well insured. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so we need to vote on this. Paul, we gonna do it on the screen? You got it, thank you. Okay. The motion passes. Thank you. All right. C. This is to entertain a motion to approve the recommendations and approval of the resolution to revise the herbicide spray guidelines and acknowledgement from the April 28-day notification.
Herbicide, Resolution 0126XX, herbicide spray cessation guidelines. Whereas United Mutual maintains approximately 130 acres of turf, 75 acres of shrubbeds, 85 miles of turf edges, and effective weed control within these areas is essential to preserve landscape health, safety, and appearance. And whereas due to staffing levels and the proliferation of invasive kikuyu grass, the use of herbicides remains the only practical and feasible method to manage those deadly weeds within shrub beds and along turf edges at the frequency required. And whereas some members have requested that herbicides not be applied in the common area shrub beds directly adjacent to their respective units, and the board previously established a process to accommodate such requests through a signed agreement, and whereas additional members have also requested the ability to perform all maintenance of the common area shrub beds adjacent to their manors or units, and whereas the said members requesting cessation of herbicide application or requesting to perform maintenance in shrub beds adjacent to their units must assume full responsibility for all shrub bed maintenance, including but not limited to trimming, weeding, edging, and the cleanup within the shrub beds. And whereas said members making such requests shall complete and sign the revised herbicide spray guidelines and acknowledgement form documenting their agreement to assume full maintenance responsibility for the designated shrub bed areas. And whereas the landscape department shall retain the right to apply herbicides in all other common areas and to apply insecticides when necessary to control pests affecting buildings and common areas. And this program shall not apply to turf area. Now therefore be it resolved, May 12, 2026, the Board of Directors hereby approves the revised herbicide spray cessation guidelines and agreement form and authorizes continuation and administration of the no herbicide program under the revised terms. And resolve further, this policy is not intended to nor shall be interpreted as conveying or ceding any common area rights from the mutual to the member, and resolve further that members requesting cessation of herbicide application or requesting to maintain shrub beds adjacent to their units shall assume full responsibility for all shrub bed maintenance within the designated area, including trimming, weeding, edging, and cleanup. Resolve further that members participating in this program are not permitted to remove existing plant material or plant new plant material without express or prior written permission from the mutual or its representatives. And resolve further that the landscape department shall document designated areas through field verification, marking and photograph records, and maintain complete acknowledgement forms on file. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized and directed to carry out the provisions of this resolution. Should the board endorse the proposed revisions, staff recommends that the motion be made and seconded to accept the resolution and allow discussion to ensure the resolution reads to the extent of the board. And then recommends that a board member postpones the resolution to the next available board meeting in no less than 28 days from the postponement to comply with Civil Code 4360. I move this resolution.
And do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, Sue, discussion?
May we have our Kurt come up, Kurt Weeman, and come up, and he is the program director for this area. And I'm sorry, I always get your title wrong. But this, so please tell us again. But the room was packed in our committee meeting in favor of this proposal. So would you explain how this would work, please?
Wait, just explain the proposal.
Do you want me to read the resolution again?
Oh, no, just
Snapshot.
Yeah, so what this is we currently have the herbicide use policy, which the genesis of that was people don't want us spraying herbicide around their homes. So to satisfy that request of residents, we came up with the no herbicide, or we call it the no herby plan, where people call in, we meet with the resident, explain the rules, mark off what the area they're referring to as theirs, with white flags, take photographs of it, document it all, so that we know not to spray herbicides there. So what has happened with that is we have other issues that go along with that. We have residents that want us to spray herbicides but not trim their bushes. We have people who want us to not spray herbicides but trim their bushes. And we have some people that only want us to trim some of their bushes and not others. And we also have special requests for people who want us to leave their bushes high or leave them low. It's becoming unmanageable. And we are trying to get away from the call-in services because it's just not, you can't afford it for us to offer all these different things. And with having over 6,000 units, it's hard for our guys to keep track of which bushes they're supposed to trim and which ones they're not. So this is a way for us to sort of resolve the issue that people who want to do their own trimming, we have the clippings pickup service for those people, so the waste is not an issue. It's just making it easier for us to follow administrative-wise. So what we propose is, if you don't want us to spray herbicide, you do it all. We can't pick and choose which units we do some things and which units we do others. Same thing if you don't want us to trim, you do it all. It's either all or nothing, basically. If you want to maintain the landscaping outside your unit because you're retired and it's something fun to do, that's fine with us. We just can't do it hit and miss here and there. If we can mark out the area like we do with the white flags, our guys know, so if a foreman's on vacation, he doesn't have to be there to tell him which one and on. That's one of the biggest things we get complaints from people is, they trimmed my rose bush different than I do, and they weren't supposed to trim it. They're only supposed to trim the red roses, not the white roses.
Right.
And we do get a fair amount of complaints like that, so we're just trying to resolve an issue where everybody's happy. So if you want to do it, you do it all. If you don't want to do some of it, you do nothing.
I totally agree. We are trying to reduce tickets and maintenance costs. We have gone through this and we have added 2 cycles to our shrubs and cleaning.
So we
Okay.
get 6.
So we get 6 now. And I've already seen an improvement in, believe it or not, I'm off the grid, so I don't get the Class A, but I'm happy, and they came through and did an excellent job of trimming and cleaning up. So I totally agree with this. Any more questions for Kurt? Oh, look at the arms. Okay, who was first?
Kathy.
Kathy was
and then
first, okay.
Phyllis.
How do you plan on notifying everyone? I hate gardening, so I don't care. But how do you? I'm sorry. That's why I live here and not in a house. How are you going to notify everyone?
Good question.
Will it be as they call in, and if this passes, you simply let them know, there's a new form or attachment 4 that they can fill out, and
Yes, two ways. When people call in for any of the issues in this, they would be told about this policy. We would send someone out to explain it to them. Also, when people complain to our foreman, they would also, we give them handouts to give to people.
And I'm sorry for people who really love golf.
Yeah.
Phyllis was next, please.
was next.
Thank you so much for your explanation. Just had this conversation in the last 2 weeks with a resident and explained to them that when you move into the community, you do not get a private landscaper. So thank you very much.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir, please.
May I add to this? I think this is just great because we have such a mix. We have master gardeners who come in and professional landscapers who come in, and they are just so angry that our people touch their property. And so, you know, it's impossible to know what they're supposed to do, to be able to touch and what they're not supposed to be able to touch. And so this really helps. And some people are very concerned about having insecticides. But we want to make sure that people understand that we are still going to do a spray for ants and termites. You know, we just cannot let them run amok, so to speak. So we will be doing that. And then, you know, we will reach out. I thought about putting this in the Village Breeze, but it isn't passed yet. So in 2 months, we could put this in the Village Breeze. We could work with our communications director to get this out. And Mary works very closely with the Garden Club. We can get that information out because I think it will help everybody.
Paul, you had something?
Yeah, when you're ready, we have one member comment.
Okay. Maggie?
Is this a burden?
For
An
staff?
increased burden for
No,
staff?
the whole idea is to relieve us of the burden of trying to keep track in the field. The no Irby, what we have now, as it says in your report, we already have 76 people who are signed up for the no Irby, and we estimate about 5% of people have their own gardeners, private gardeners that come in and do it, so they would fall under this also. So we don't see it as a burden, we see it as relieving a burden for us. There'll be an initial administrative issue with it, but as we go forward, it'll relieve a lot of the phone calls that we get.
Thank you.
All right. Mary, you had, oh, we still have a director. Mary?
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that this is direct savings on the assessments, because if we were to tailor it, the price would go up, and that's the very thing residents are looking to avoid. So I just really want to, you know, support this wholeheartedly in the effort of, you know, just getting the word out that this is a cost savings. Also want to say that I love gardening. But my little garden plot's more than enough for me. I thought I was going to want to do my manor, so I'm more than happy to have landscape come. And then the final thing, Kurt, can we get a copy of the handout that goes to residents describing this, or that will go to residents?
Oh, we'll work with, once this passes, we'll have media and communications help us put it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? And we have one online?
In person, Janet LeBerry. Bar.
Most of you know me, especially from the landscape committee meetings. And I went to the last one and I had all this documentation and arguments for why this exact thing should happen. And I was ready to get up there, and then Kurt explained it, and I went, I don't need to argue anything. I want to speak in favor of this, partly because the no Irby didn't work for me. I happen to be outside, and I have probably more white flags that say no spray than any other unit. Sharon was very generous with the flags. And I was out last week, and I see this gentleman walking down past the manors with the sprayer, looking at the garden around my manor. I thought, well, why is he looking around my manor? There's all these white signs. So I walked down my steps, and sure enough, he is taking his little sprayer and spraying in the garden area there. So I run down the stairs, and I said, what are you doing? Stop that. Can't you see there's white flags? He says, but there's weeds. No, those aren't weeds. Those are my poppy seedlings that I've scattered in natural drifts throughout the area that I have hybridized myself for 2 years. was planning to name the Laguna Woods poppy color because it's a unique color from a sport that I found on the side of the road. So I ran and got my hose and sprayed everything down, and then I followed him to get a video of who this was so that he could be trained, because clearly he didn't know what those flags meant. And I saw him spraying in the area by the dumpsters. I thought, oh, okay, he's spraying weeds there. Well, he wasn't spraying weeds there. He was actually spraying around the society garlic and killing the outside edge of all the society garlic. So now we have plants that are supposed to be full and green on colored all the way through that are now all browned out and look like they're dying. So there clearly needs to be a little additional training on how to spray and spray weeds and not our actual landscape plants. So all good news except for that little piece, which I hope can be an additional training. Don't spray the plants, spray the weeds. But I'm absolutely for this. I think the best looking units are the ones that are maintained by people who are knowledgeable in gardening and appreciated by the residents. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think we are ready to vote. And there it is. All right, unanimous. Thank you, everybody. That one passed. All right, now we get to go to reports, as in committee reports. All right. First one will be the financial report that I will be presenting for Murad. Okay. As soon as we get it loaded on the screen, I will get it.
Oh, so you're financial now.
I'm financial for Murad today.
Elsie could do that.
You want to do it?
No, Elsie could do it.
They're getting the slides ready. Here we go. All right, here we go. I'll make this short and to the point. Okay, slide one, here we go. The income statement through the reporting period of February 28th, 2026. Total revenue for United was $10.8 million compared to expenses of $9.2 million, resulting in net revenue of $1.6 million. Number two. All right. In the finance committee, in the finance area, they do keep a close eye on operating the portion of our financial results. The operating fund shows a surplus of $429,000 through the reporting period. This table shows how much of our revenue went into the operations, with $4.9 million coming in from assessments, $230,000 coming in from non-assessment revenue. This is compared to the operating expenditures of $4.7 million. Okay. This next table takes the full income statement and compares those to the results to budget. We can see United ended in the period better than budget by $1.1 million when combining all funds. All right. Look at that. We only have one red. The most significant variances from the budget were attributed to the following: outside services, $640,000, favorable variance of primary and M&C primary due to the timing of programs such as roof replacements, damage restoration, waistline remediation, tree maintenance, among others. Employee compensation, $247,000, favorable Variance result primary and landscaping due to open positions for tree trimmers and gardeners. Recruitment is in progress to fill this current open positions, and that just continues to go on all the time. Materials and supplies, $244,000, favorable. Variance primary and maintenance and construction due to timing of materials, usage and programs throughout the community in areas such as interior components, electrical, and paint. Fees and charges to residents, $72,000, unfavorable. Primary due to the timing of billing for chargeable services to residents for damage restoration and carpentry. A footnote on that one, I know that the software is in the downloading or uploading. They're looking at the software which will really take these invoices and charges more current. Okay, number 5, all right. On the pie chart, we show non-assessment revenues earned to date of $325,000. Revenue is organized by category, starting with our largest revenue generating category, investment income, fees and charges to residents, followed by laundry, miscellaneous revenue, lease processing fee, and so forth. All right. This table shows the same $225,000 of non-assessment revenue as presented in the previous pie chart and compares it to the current year's budget and prior years to date. All right. On this pie chart, we see the expenses to date of $9.2 million, showing that our largest categories of expenses are for employee compensation and related to following by property tax, utilities, insurance, and outside services and so forth on that chart. The table shows the same 9.2 that we just saw in the pie chart. In current year's budget, the prior year to date actuals. Okay. Our fund balances are shown here. The contingency fund balance on February 28th was $751,000. Contributions collected total of $38,000. No expenditures have been incurred to date. The reserve fund balance on February 28th was $15.1 million. Contributions and investment revenue collected $2.9 million, while expenditures were $1.8 million. We compare these non-operating fund balances to historical fund balances for the past 5 years on the chart here. We have an average of $16.7 million. In this table, we compare the table illustrates the schedule for repayment of the temporary borrowing from the reserve fund. United has always kept a close on this repayment and borrowed monies from the reserve fund on November 13th, 2025. The board approved temporary borrowing of a revenue fund of 4.5. The repayment of the monies will be made by March 31st of 2026. Okay. We have the table here to show resale history of 2024 through 2026. Through February of 26, United resales totaled 51, which is 3 resales more than the prior year for the same period of time. The average year-to-date resale price for United Mutual has gone to $407,000, which is $9,000 more than the prior year, the same period. Any questions? All right. Yes, I'm sorry, Tony, go ahead. I didn't see your hand.
Yeah, let's talk about the reserves now. It's only 15 million. That means we're pretty vulnerable right now. Is that correct?
Yes, and we have been for the last, yes.
And when will that be done? When will we get that back up?
There is a schedule to do that, but this board has approved such as last year, and I'm sure we're going to do it this year to increase the revenue, or increase the assessments. Thank you. That word was right there, assessments, because we are doing this slowly so it doesn't impact anybody dramatic. We don't have anybody dramatic.
Well, the point is, we're very vulnerable right now.
Yes, we are, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? It's just, Phyllis? I'm getting tired and hungry.
As are we all. Talking to your microphone, I can hardly hear you. Sorry.
This isn't a question, it's a statement. According to our financials, since 2022, our reserves are gradually going up every year, and they're slated to go up again this year, too.
Yes, thank you. Yes. All right. Anybody else? Okay, now we go to committees. Give us a report. Let's see. Okay, Finance Committee done. Tony, you have the report on the ANC Standards Committee.
Yes, we discussed it quite a bit here today.
Yes, we did.
And our next meeting is on the 16th, and please come. It's an open meeting. We'd like to hear from you. Thank you.
Okay. Member Hearings Committee? Elsie.
Once again, this is the stealth hearing. Your secrets are safe with our little committee, and so I won't say anything more about that. The next hearing that you may not come to is going to be on May the 7th, 2026 at 9 o'clock, and just pick a time because these hearings go all day long. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsie. Governing Documents Review Committee.
Okay, governing documents did not meet last month, but we will meet April 16th at 1:30.
Very good.
Come on and find out.
Okay. We have a landscape by Director Quam.
Yes, we passed the major resolution today that's going to make so many people happy that there won't be spraying in their area, or they can trim their own areas if they just comply and let people know that they don't want that anymore. So it's always on the fourth Monday of the month, our meetings, and that will be April 27th at 1:30.
Thank you. The Maintenance and Construction Committee met. We got updated on the pipeline restoration and water restoration and all that. Nothing dynamic, just they're doing their job and they're doing it well. Our next meeting will be on April 27th. All right. We have Maintenance and Construction. Oop, I just did that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Let's do that one. Let's go over to United Resident Advisory Committee. Tony.
Energy Subcommittee.
Yeah, let's do this
Oops,
energy
okay,
subcommittee.
Tony, do the energy subcommittee.
As you know, we had that meeting the other day, and we are submitting to the MNC some very pertinent information to help them deal with the solar energy stuff. We won't go into it here, but I'd like for people to attend so we can hear from them. And our next meeting is on July 13th. But we're going to try to move that meeting up. We're waiting for staff to give us a new date because there's some urgent things that we want to deal with. So stay tuned and we'll give you a new update. Thank you.
And I want to piggyback on that, Tony. We had a very active meeting yesterday, so please come to these meetings. We love to hear your input. And like Tony said, we have some stuff happening, and we will definitely get a meeting going before the 6th May. Okay, now we go to the good old GRF side of the house.
Resident Advisory.
How about the United Advisory? See, you got me checking one ahead of myself. Tony, you're on again.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, we had our meeting on last Thursday, and please attend. It's an open meeting. We don't use Robert's rules. If you have some issues or some concerns, it's very informal, but we will listen to you, and we'll get back to you. And the next meeting is on May 14th in the Elm Room at 4 p.m. Thank you.
All right.
That's different. Oh, that's, okay.
All right. Now we're to the GRF committee meetings. Not a lot to report. The GRF did have a finance committee. They didn't do anything off the wall. They're in good shape. Next meeting will be April 15th. Committee activities. Elsie.
Keep this short because these were really long meetings, and this is turning into one. So, for some reason, we had 2 meetings last month for the CAC, and I knew at the time why that was, but now I've forgotten. I think it has to do with the cancellation of one and a shoving forward of the other one, but at any rate, at the one on March 24th, and these were both regular meetings, they weren't special meetings. Staff outlined in great detail, because there was, well, wasn't so much detail as it was numbers of suggestions and ideas for the capital plan proposals for 2027 for recreation. You got that? So it was like, well, and so it was like, I don't know, will you like this one? No, I don't like that one. Well, then it was strange but enlightening. And finally, and that took up the bulk of the meeting. The list was revised and approved. That's it.
All right.
And for April the 9th, there was the most significant thing, well, there are 2. One was, this was approved, it was a proposal to lower the guest fees for par 3 course for junior golfers. Okay, if you're under 18 playing with grandma, you now have, it's a seriously reduced price. I wanted to say $10 reduction, but I might be wrong there. The thinking is, from a fiscal point of view, is that with the recent hike we had, which was justified and kind of across the board, the hike we had for all the courses, with the summer period coming up, grandma might be discouraged from urging Junior to go play golf with her, because she has to accompany him, at $18 a head. Whereas if it's we're hoping that by lowering the rate for the juniors, we're not only encouraging kids to enter this terrific sport, but we're going to encourage more grandmas to have more kids to make up any revenue loss. In fact, maybe even increase the revenue. Got that?
Got it.
Okay, that got approved.
Par 3, yes.
But one that didn't fare as well was there was a proposal to increase the rental rates for GRF facilities for special events, such as, for some reason I always lead with bar mitzvahs, and I don't know why, except we do have a lot of bar mitzvahs, and weddings, and memorials, and celebrations of life. So, well, right now we have 2 rates, one for residents and one for a resident who is renting a place on behalf of an outside organization. There were 2, and that's fairly recently that we've had the 2. Well, now an agreement went up to bust that into 3, which would have broken up the residents into clubs and the special events. Okay, so the special events would have gone up significantly, 3 times, but the clubs would have stayed the same. And anyway, after much discussion, that particular, and is that how you remember it, Maggie? Yeah, because Maggie's on that committee too. Anyway, it tied 3-3. So our next meeting is, oh my gosh, there it is, May 14th. I even have it right here on this piece of paper.
Right.
May 14th at 1:30 next month.
May
Thank
14th.
you.
Thank you. Director Quam, we have the Landscape Committee.
Yes, we met in February, and basically it was an update on the cleanup of Aliso Creek, and it does look great. And we picked a vendor for tree maintenance. The next meeting is May 13th at 1:30 in the boardroom. This committee meets quarterly.
Okay. Maintenance and Construction, Director Busani.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing to report.
None to report. Okay. I say the same about the ad hoc committee right now on space planning. All right. Tony, we have Mobility and Vehicles Committee. This is a good committee.
Yes, with the mobility, we started the bus to the Arbor over there, so I hope people know that it goes 4 times a day, and you can get out and get a whole bunch of stores over there. So it's been a good time, and I hope you come and see us at the meeting and let us know what you think. And our next meeting is on, I got this wrong here.
May 6th.
May 6th, and here in the boardroom,
At 1:30.
1:30. Thank you.
And this should let you know this did not cost us any money to change this. So it's really good. It's a good thing we did. Thank you, board. Kathy, we have a broadband report?
Yes, we do. Okay. So we met on March the 23rd, and a number of things were covered. One of the main ones that was covered in Node 1, which is up in my area, they have new people doing the installation, and it's coming along rather quickly. So mine still isn't done, but they are working. They are currently doing the installation for the wiring in nodes 2 and 4, which is the northeast and the southwest. And that's going along very well. And then once that's completed, then the team representatives that will do the installation of the routers will follow that suit. Let's see, starting in August, they will be sending out the black Gemini boxes. Each unit will receive 2 boxes, and it will come with a remote and cords and explanation on how to set up your DirecTV. Currently, and this is subject to change, but currently the packages will include HBO Max, Cinemax, Paramount Plus, and Showtime. All of those will be ad-free, so you won't have to worry about commercials. There are no ads to it whatsoever. And with the new DirecTV, you will be able to record 5 shows at a time. So I don't know, if you have the current system, you can record 2, and that's it. But with the new system, you'll be able to record 5 shows and watch them when you'd like. Okay, it's recommended that residents go to our Laguna Woods website and get some training, or go to the PC Club to learn how to work the DirecTV, all of the channels, and see what the current listings are. DirecTV is world or nationwide, let's say, not necessarily worldwide. And so they have a specific programming. If you like some sports or the golf channels, that is an additional fee. The complete sports package, I believe, is about $32 or $33. But if you only want the golf channels, that would only be about $15 to $16. So you can actually request that information. If you are like me, and I do like Turner Classic Movies, that is an additional. It is not covered under the original package, and that will cost $32.95 or $33 for that. Let's see. One thing that came up in the meeting, and it really had a number of people very upset, is that we will no longer have our Channel 6 because DirecTV is a large business. They can't do our individual. However, we can go to the website and do the YouTube channel or TV6 and get information there. So using our Laguna Woods Village website and whatnot, you can continue to get that information. The other issue that I wanted to bring up regarding the Gemini devices is that we are set up in 4 nodes: southeast, northeast, northwest, and southwest. So they will start sending the boxes out August 3rd to September 11th in node 1. Northeast will be September 14th through October 2nd. Northwest is October 5th through October 16th. Southwest is October 19th through October 30th. And at that point, we will be able to use the boxes and use the system. So our next meeting is scheduled for May the 28th at 1:30. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick one. Could you mention again? I'm sorry. Could you mention again? You said HBO comes with it.
Yes.
Because my neighbors keep wanting to know.
Okay, HBO Max/Cinemax, Paramount Plus, and Showtime. Those are included in the DirecTV with all of the additional channels they have, and they will be ad-free. So you don't have to see any commercials.
So
And HBO Max, Cinemax.
Oh,
They
Cinemax is
classified them as 2 separate things. HBO Max is 1, and then Cinemax is 2.
I see. Now I can tell my neighbors. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And if anyone is interested, you can go online and get a copy of the nodes for whatever area that you are in. I don't have a bigger picture, but that is available. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay. Let's go to security and community access.
Okay. So.
We did that one?
Yes, we did. Our security meeting, we met on February the 25th at 1:30, and it covered a number of things. My notes, there may be a few things that it's not showing here in the report that we've got, but I know that we did talk about the coyotes, and we have 2 security officers or staff that are being trained currently on the water pellet devices. And once that training is done, then they will go around the areas and try and
discourage.
Thank you. Discourage the coyotes from being in those particular areas. And the other thing that was mentioned is no, residents may not use water pellet guns. This has to do with a mutual code, section 706010, which the water pellet guns would be considered a discharge of firearms. And it's just a small paragraph that basically says that we cannot do that. It also includes you can't use bows and arrows unless you're in the archery club. That does have a separate permit. And I have this in an email from Alicia who sent it to me when we looked it up. So if anybody wants it, I can forward you this particular email. Some of the other issues were something that was put on by social services and manor alterations that had to do in protecting yourself against scams and fraud. And it was a very interesting meeting. It was held on February the 25th in the clubhouse. So if you have any questions, you can certainly contact social services to get some of that information. We also talked a bit, oh no, that's the scams, okay. 37 violations. Okay, so I don't want to get into that one because I don't remember it. Anyway, so then our next scheduled meeting will be on April the 22nd at 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Arlington, we have traffic?
Director Arlington?
Addington.
Addington. I like Arlington better. I didn't
See?
like Addington.
It was good no matter how you responded.
From now on, I'm Arlington.
Oh, no.
I like it.
Your hubby will be so
It is
No, that's not.
ADD.
Wrong husband, wrong husband. I love this husband. There, did you hear that, honey?
There you go.
Okay, all that to say, I have nothing to tell you about the traffic hearings.
Except we ticket them, they pay.
Except, yeah, for the most part, we give them a fair hearing. Mainly, we watch the videos, and if you could see the look on people's people's faces when they see those videos, shh, shh. I think we ought to make a movie, a day in the village without stop signs, and just see what happens. Okay. Anyway.
Disaster.
Put us out of a job. Just a second, the next hearings that you can't come to are on April 15th, 2026. Thank you. 9
Thank you.
o'clock.
Disaster Preparedness Task Force.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've reorganized that. It's really something you should pay attention to, because if the big one comes, you want to know what to do. Anyway, our next meeting is going to be on May 26th here at 9:30 in the morning, and please come and see what to do if we hit the big one. Thank you.
That is important.
You mean earthquake, don't you?
Anything. Information Technology Advisory Committee, this would be Jonathan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, no action, no item, nothing to report.
Very good. Energy Ad Hoc. Kathy?
Was that me? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was Tony. I'm not prepared on I apologize.
Has your name here? That's okay. We will go on. Land Use Ad Hoc Committee. Mary Sinclair, do you have anything for us?
Just a tiny bit. There was, the group met and was talking about potential uses of the undeveloped parcels for resident needs or income producing. And the next step is a mission statement for the committee.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, and your next meeting is?
So the next meeting got changed today, so it's going to be on the 24th.
24th of April?
Next Friday, 24th at 10 a.m. in the boardroom.
Director Prater?
Yes.
On the Energy Ad Hoc Committee, the next meeting will be held
May 18th.
June 17th?
No, I said May 18th.
18th. It's on the list.
Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut. Thank you.
Okay. Water Conservation Committee, the new committee. Director Kwan, do you have anything to say about it yet?
Well, I was shocked to see it, quite frankly. I didn't realize it was going to happen. And so I don't have my paper. When is that meeting?
The next meeting will be April 30th?
April 30th.
At 2 p.m. in this room.
Okay, so we will figure out what we want to do, what we hope to accomplish. with
Please come
that.
to that, you requested a conversation, you got it.
Yes.
All right,
We just had the town hall.
yeah.
Yes, that was good.
Okay, future agenda items. All matters under the future agenda items are resolutions on 28-day public review or items for future board meetings. No action will be taken by the board on these agenda items at this meeting. The board will take action on these items at a future meeting. All right. Item 16, director comments. You get 2 minutes. Who wants to start? Phyllis? Nothing. Mary? She's good. Jonathan?
I would like to add on the importance of the security. I believe this most recent incident has caused some emotional disturbance among certain areas, and my wife is among one of them, because what happened on the Sunday night, it was exactly across from our bedroom window. Just thought of what has happened while you were asleep is pretty
Concerning.
Yeah,
It is.
disturbing. So I'm looking forward to this
Upstairs.
closed meeting to discuss the detail.
Okay. Kathy, anything?
Just one thing that I forgot that I wanted to mention on security, and Maggie would be happy about this, is they're planning in 2027 budget to replace 2 of the gates. I wasn't sure in our meeting what those gates were, because I'm not a golfer, and you are, but you said it's important to replace those 2. The 2 gates.
What 2 gates?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Well, there are gate houses.
Oh, gate houses.
Oh, the house, yeah, the sheds.
Okay.
I'm sitting there
And
thinking of gates.
you were happy about that, so
Right.
I forgot to mention that one.
Yep, that would be at the golf course.
Thank you.
All right. Tony?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing.
Well, if anybody is still listening, don't forget that Earth Day is going to be celebrated on Thursday at 2 p.m. in Clubhouse 1. It should be very interesting. And then just a plug for another thing that's beautiful and going to be happening is the annual garden show and fair, and that's Clubhouse 5 on Friday, April 17th from 11 to 2:30. So for all those gardeners and people who want to look at pretty plants and displays, come on over.
Maggie?
Okay, 2 things. 1, stop planting food. Stop planting food. Stop putting out food.
Right.
The coyotes are blissfully happy, and we are most unhappy, and our pups are being threatened. So don't put out food for anyone, not your neighbor, not your neighbor's dog, not anything. Nothing goes outside. And say something. If you see something that is wrong in the village, say it. There are 6,323 units loaded with occupants, and all of them have eyes and ears and walk to carports. If you see something, call it in, please. Thank you.
Elsie?
I have nothing to say except it's my birthday in January, and all well-wishing is acceptable.
Thank you. I am going to wind this up with 3 little items I want to hear. First of all, the carport progress over due to the last fire on the other side of El Toro Road. I've been watching it going over there, and it's up. Okay, it is the roof, the walls, and everything are up. They're going to come in and give new cabinets to all those people on their stalls. So everything's going good on there finally, and there is a light at the end of this project. One other thing, since we are talking about events, this Saturday, April 11th. Wait, wrong date. Never mind, don't forget about Earth Day. This meeting is now, and Elsie's birthday. We're recess until we go upstairs for our next session.
What time do you want to start?
Oh, let's see,
you wanna
it's
give us-
12:40.
Do you want half an hour for you guys?
Half an hour good?
1:10?
1:15?
Sure.
1:15. We'll leave it on the corner. Upstairs, closed meeting. Willow Room, sorry.